This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your number one source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about the Winco appeal hearing in Moses Lake, which was underway on Wednesday night. Reporter Cameron Probert was there and has the story.
The traffic on Stratford Road in Moses Lake was the focus of a hearing on a proposed Winco food store. Spencer Montgomery, a transportation planner with JUB Engineers, testified Wednesday evening during the first night of an appeal hearing. A group called A Stronger Moses Lake is appealing this determination that the company doesn't need to complete an environmental impact statement before proceeding. The group's attorney, Michael Whipple, argued the city did not question the company's determination it wouldn't impact the traffic on Stratford. The store is estimated to add roughly 400 vehicles to the street at the peak hour of travel in the afternoon. Montgomery pointed out the store's traffic study isn't consistent with the city's traffic plan. He pointed out the store's engineers estimated a 46-second delay at the Stratford and Valley intersection compared to the city's estimate of 88 seconds.
I thought, well, that's interesting. How could they be so much different? So I started digging around through things. I go, well, why would it be that way? What was their trip distribution different? Should there have been more traffic going that direction? And there are some other technical things that I've pointed out in the memo that could play a role in that.
He pointed out the traffic study presented to the city only contains a forecast for the first year of the store and doesn't seem to take into account the traffic from other stores and the effect of having a connection between Central Drive and Stratford Road. He suggested the city could have requested the store contribute some money to help pay for future traffic improvements. Winco's attorney, John Sitkin, questioned the planner's opinion that the project would have a large impact. He noted the Institute of Transportation Engineers standards refer to the project as small. Montgomery responded the public can have a different perception of what is a large project.
But a 500 trip development in a larger city would clearly be small. I don't know how many development permits requests the city of Moses Lake has, but I would bet that this is one of the larger ones that they've got in recent years.
The traffic planner also agreed with Sitkin that the city can't require the store to fix a problem which existed before the store was built. And he didn't find any problems with the engineer's estimates for traffic. The hearing continues on Thursday night. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
Dozens of people took a plunge into Moses Lake on New Year's Day for the annual Polar Bear Plunge benefiting Grant County Animal Outreach. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go!
New Year's Day saw some brave souls take a dive into Moses Lake for the 7th annual Polar Bear Plunge. The event supports the Grant County Animal Outreach, and organizers say this year's fundraiser surpassed the $4,000 raised last year as more than 50 people took on the elements. 77-year-old Reardon resident Doris Conahan took the plunge for the 4th straight year and talked about what it takes to get in the water.
Intelligence. No, it's because I said something to my family and they said, oh, you're crazy. And I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Yes, I am.
For anybody who has never done this before, what does it feel like when you hit that water?
Oh, it's really refreshing. It gets your blood going, keeps you alive. It's a challenge. Go!
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be right back after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather. This weather segment is brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. Taking a closer look at our headlines, low visibility throughout the region for tonight, even into the weekend. For our area tonight, little or no snow accumulation expected. Light snow may be possible along the inland northwest. Patchy freezing fog is likely through the weekend, especially for the morning commute. Decrease in temperatures within the next few days. Taking a closer look at the almanac. For our area, we woke up with temperatures above the normal for this time of year in the lower 30s and maximum temperatures around the normal for this time of year. Record high for this time of year, 54 degrees in 2002. And for Moses Lake, temperatures around that 30-degree mark for the low as well for the maximum temperature. Record high of 52 degrees in 2009 and our sunset at 4:25 p.m. Right now outside your door, temperatures in the lower 30s with mostly cloudy skies. Those winds pushing through pretty calmly from the north-northeast. Now, taking a closer look at the futurecast visibility. Low visibility remains in effect towards central and eastern parts of our state. Towards the west, visibility is improving. Taking a closer look at the future clouds and radar. There is an area of low pressure exiting Texas and coming through the Mississippi Valley. All that moisture will continue pushing through the Great Lakes, bringing that threat of a wintry mix, and all that moisture will eventually head towards the northeast, bringing that threat of heavy rainfall and thunderstorms for Sunday into the beginning of the work week. In the meantime, for our area, dense fog is the main threat. So low visibility, but dry conditions are expected. There is another area of low pressure system pushing through, bringing that chance of some showers towards the coastal area, and some mountain snow may be possible, but the main threat remains towards our south. For our area, temperatures remain through the coastal area. Temperatures remain in the lower 40s, 37 for Yakima Valley, in the lower 30s towards the inland northwest. And for our Columbia Basin, those temperatures hitting that 30-degree mark with mostly cloudy skies. Taking a closer look at our extended forecast for the week. Cloudy skies, dense fog, even dense fog advisories until noon Friday for much of the region, and also air stagnation advisory remains in effect until Tuesday for much of the region. Temperatures for our area in the lower 30s even for this weekend, and for the beginning of the work week, dry conditions are expected. The next threat may come through for our area for much of the region. For Wednesday, the second half of the work week, there is that 30% chance of precipitation. Temperatures remain around the mid-30s.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The new flamethrower cheeseburger now with a $5 lunch. I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Gary, do you remember what happened last time?
I'm going flamethrower today.
Remember what happened last time?
Comes with a Sunday now. I can handle it.
You know your body, Gary.
Go flamethrower. Now the DQ $5 lunch comes with the new jalapeno bacon flamethrower cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae. This is fan food, not fast food.
Wharton basketball kicked off 2B Central Washington League play with home wins over Soap Lake on Tuesday.
3 girls hit for double figures, and the Lady Cougars got past Soap Lake 60-50 in the first contest of the evening. The game was a bit closer than Coach Dan Caballero would have liked, as sloppy ball handling led to 30 Cougar turnovers. Warden was able to build a 17-point halftime lead. Soap Lake closed within a couple of buckets down the stretch, as the Cougars had trouble focusing on the task at hand. Warden was able to shake off the cobwebs over the last 3 minutes and pulled away with the win. Brenna Whitney led all scorers with 22 points. Shania Kisler added 14. Bailey Whitney drained 13, and Alicia Gonzalez finished with 8 points and 11 rebounds.
The second game of the evening had the Cougars feasting on the Eagles, 57-24.
Junior Delgado led the Cougar attack with a game-high 18 points. Delgado was held scoreless in the first quarter, but got it going on in the second with back-to-back trays. Soap Lake couldn't seem to buy a bucket, and the Eagles trailed 30-15 at the break. Warden played shutdown defense in the second half, giving up just 9 points over 2 quarters. David Gonzalez added 12 points for Warden in the win. Tanner Scone finished with 10. The Cougars moved to 1-0 in 2B Central Washington League play and 7-1 overall.
Warden hits the road to Kittitas tonight and is at home Saturday to take on Mabton. Well, the 15th and final Ryan Flock Memorial Games played out at Big Bend Community College on the 2nd, so we thought we'd take one last look and see how they finished up.
The games kicked off with the Lady Vikings taking on the alumni women, and one would think the younger gals would run circles around their elder stateswomen.
Game winners with the ball.
But that wasn't the case, as the veteran-savvy alumni got past Big Bend 78-74.
Nice. LaRue for 3. Nails it.
Former Lady Viking standout guard Elizabeth LaRue led all scorers with 30 points.
47 on the game clock. 3-point shot by Rocket.
Shelby Snow added 17, and Allie Winters finished with 15 for the alumni.
She gets it back and puts it in.
Mackenzie Winley led the Lady Vikings with 20 points. Max Shelley finished with 16.
But yeah, there you go. Yeah. But just the coordination of
the Big Bend women took on Team Parasport from Spokane in an exhibition game during halftime of the men's game. And as you can see, it takes pretty good skills to get up and down the court, and the Lady Vikings were certainly outmatched in this one.
By tipping.
The second game of the afternoon was a high-scoring affair that produced 197 points as both teams were intent on one-upping the other.
This one was all Big Bend as the running Vikes built a 53-29 halftime lead and then cruised to a 116-81 win.
Pull-up jumper. Yep, he's got it going on early.
The alumni made a game of it in the second half, posting 52 points on the board. But the grizzled veterans' legs grew weary, and the old-timers ran out of steam. The spry running Vikes showed no mercy, kicking it into overdrive while rotating fresh bodies every 5 minutes throughout the second half. Riker Pierce led 4 Big Bend players in double figures with a game-high 27 points. Moga Ledoux had 16. Leo Beren added 15. Riley Brunell finished with 12. Tom Perks knocked down a team-high 18 for the alumni. Colby Seacrest hit for 13. Josh Whitman finished with 12. Big Bend opens league play at home Saturday afternoon against Yakima Valley. iFIBER Communications will be broadcasting the games live on Channel 1. The action tips off at 2.
It got really cold in here. Showtime. Is he going to do it again?
Well, there are plenty of Basin High School basketball games going on over the weekend, so if you have the opportunity, get out and root on your favorite team. Players and coaches will appreciate your support. We'll be back after this commercial break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
Our next story is about the annual Sam Scramble in Ephrata, inspired by an Ephrata girl who lost her battle with cancer in 2002. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Ephrata residents braved the cold and slippery conditions to kick off the new year and help raise money for cancer research at the 4th annual Sam Scramble on Friday at the Ephrata Recreation Center. About 20 teams signed up for this year's event, which is part foot race and part scavenger hunt. The event honors Samantha Webb, a 9-year-old Ephrata resident who lost her battle with cancer on New Year's Day in 2002. Since 2013, the Scramble has raised more than $35,000 for Washington-based cancer charities. Proceeds from this year's event went to a cause that has a special meeting for event organizer Shannon Lowry.
We are going to donate the bulk of the proceeds this year, and by the way, we've raised almost probably $6,000 this year, to a foundation called Cancer Can't. And for those of you that don't know what it supports, it was founded by my niece and my nephew-in-law, John and Becky Van Kulen. John was diagnosed with osteosarcoma about 20 months ago, and he's been undergoing really intensive chemotherapy. They have received a lot of support from family and friends, and last year about this time, they decided they wanted to give back. So they started a foundation with the sole purpose a year ago to update the oncology rooms at Sacred Heart Hospital in Spokane.
Before the Scramble got underway, teams had a chance to strategize and determine the best route to hit all the spots in town. Once outside, they had to find key pieces of information at each spot to gain points for the team, and the teams in each division with the highest point totals won. For Lowry, the ability to help some of her family as well as giving support to others who've been touched by cancer is what keeps her looking forward to the Scramble every year.
It feels great. It's probably a kind of a speck of dust in the scheme of things, but the fact that you know, I can help in any way to a foundation that I am seeing doing very good things. And I know how important that is to John and Becky. They're on the journey of their lives, and it's difficult. But the fact that they make time for this and it matters to them makes it matter to me and to many others in this community where they grew up. This is done in the spirit of Samantha Webb, who was just the sunshine of our lives for many years. And to this day, her spirit is still here in this event and with all these people here.
What do you think she'd say if she saw what you guys were able to do every year?
She would have loved it. She would have wanted to be up there with a gold medal, and she would have achieved that every single year. She achieved everything she put her mind to.
In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Welcome back. The next story is about the annual Waypoint Foundation Chess Tournament on February 6th in Ephrata, open to students of all ages. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
The Waypoint Foundation is inviting young chess players to Parkway School in Ephrata for their 10th annual Scholastic Chess Tournament on February 6th. Check-in for the tournament starts at 7:45 a.m., and the final round should be completed by 3 p.m. The tournament is open to all kindergartners through high school seniors in the Ephrata, Moses Lake, Quincy, and Soap Lake school districts. Public, private, and homeschooled students are eligible to compete. There is no cost to register for the tournament. Cash prizes are awarded to the top participants, with first prize winning $500. Troy and Roger Pugh, the Waypoint Foundation founders, first organized the tournament in 2007 to give back to the community and honor their late brother, Ryan. The three brothers would regularly travel to compete in different tournaments. The tournament in Ephrata gives children a fun way to compete.
It's fun to see so many come out and play because it's a real game of strategy, in my opinion. And, makes them think ahead. So there's consequences to their actions, and they got to think about that. So it's more of a game of life as well.
Pugh said last year about 100 students participated, and the competition has grown over the years. The tournament is directed under the World Chess Federation laws of chess. Participants need to pre-register by no later than noon on February 5th. Registration forms are available online at waypointfoundation.org. Participation is limited to the first 100 students to register. In celebration of the tournament's 10th anniversary, all participants will receive a t-shirt. The foundation is also holding prep classes to explain tournament rules and guidelines on January 28th and February 2nd at 6 p.m. at Parkway School. The classes are not required to compete in the tournament, but participants are encouraged to attend. For more information, call the foundation at 509-754-9800. The Waypoint Foundation is a nonprofit organization based in Ephrata and committed to giving back to the community by sponsoring and supporting a variety of activities. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about the Moses Lake School Board discussing options for a construction bond in 2017 to build a new high school. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
The Moses Lake School Board met with district officials on Wednesday afternoon to brainstorm strategies for potentially running a new construction bond in 2017. The district's attempts to get voters to approve bonds in 2012 and 2015 were unsuccessful despite pulling in more than 50% approval. Washington state law requires all government agencies to achieve a 60% supermajority in order to pass a bond. Moses Lake voters were asked last year to approve a $98 million bond for a new high school and renovations to the existing high school. Its failure brought the district to consider implementing a year-round multi-track schedule, but board members acknowledged it may no longer be necessary. Board President Kevin Donovan said whatever strategy the district takes, there are no simple answers to what is a complex problem.
Do we want to say, okay, you know what, put together a committee and let's go through this process, which we have done time after time after time? Or do we as a board want to come together now, in the future, and say we're going to put together a solution that we think is best for the community, and then put a bond?
The Moses Lake School Board of Directors holds its first meeting of 2016 on Thursday, January 14th at 7 p.m. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFIBER 1 News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.